Have you ever felt like your mind is a room with too many windows open? Ideas rushing in, thoughts flying out, never stopping long enough for silence to exist. This was Eli's life. He wasn't unhappy, but he was never truly at peace. Every morning, before his feet even touched the floor, his mind would start running. What if I fail today? What if I'm not enough? What if everything goes wrong again? The questions never stopped. They just changed shape. And with each one, his peace drifted further away. Eli believed that overthinking meant he cared. He thought worrying made him responsible, prepared. But it didn't. It only made him tired. Deeply, silently tired. One day, while walking through the city, he noticed an old painter sitting by a quiet street corner. The man was painting the same tree over and over again, each version slightly different, yet all beautiful. Eli stopped and asked, "Why paint the same tree every day?" The old man smiled without looking up. "Because every day I see it differently. Some days it's calm, some days it's sad. Some days I'm just trying to see it without my thoughts getting in the way." That sentence hit Eli harder than he expected. He realized he had spent years seeing life through his thoughts, never through his eyes. Later that night, Eli couldn't sleep. He replayed the painter's words. And for the first time, he asked himself a question that wasn't meant to fix or analyze, but just to understand. What if thinking less doesn't mean caring less? What if it means feeling more? That was the beginning of his quiet transformation. The next morning, he didn't check his phone. He didn't rush into plans, messages, or expectations. He just sat with a cup of coffee, breathing in the silence of the early morning. It felt strange, almost uncomfortable, but peaceful. Like his mind was exhaling after years of holding its breath. You see, this is where most of us get stuck. We believe peace will come when everything is solved. But peace isn't found in the absence of problems. It's found in the absence of noise. And the loudest noise isn't around us, it's inside our own heads. We think too much about what people think of us, about what could go wrong, about what already went wrong. We replay mistakes like a broken record, hoping repetition will somehow change the past. But it never does. It only traps us in a loop that steals our time and our joy, one thought at a time. Eli decided to change that. He began practicing what he called the art of thinking less. It wasn't about ignoring reality. It was about creating space between his thoughts, like the silence between musical notes, where beauty truly lives. When he worked, he worked. When he rested, he rested. When he was with someone, he listened. Not just to reply, but to understand. He stopped filling every quiet moment with noise. No podcasts, no endless scrolling, no constant stimulation, just presence. At first his mind rebelled. It screamed for distraction. It told him he was wasting time. But eventually, something magical happened. The voice inside began to soften. It didn't disappear, but it lost its power. And in that quiet space, new things began to grow. Focus, clarity, and a strange kind of joy he hadn't felt since childhood. He started noticing things he'd missed before. The way sunlight painted the floor, the rhythm of his own footsteps, the feeling of a breeze against his skin. He realized peace was never hiding. He was just too busy thinking to see it. This is what thinking less really means. Not suppressing thoughts, but choosing which ones deserve your energy. It's understanding that not every worry deserves your attention. Not every opinion deserves a reaction. And not every fear deserves to stay. You can't stop your mind from thinking, but you can stop believing every thought it creates. That's where true peace begins. When you become the watcher, not the prisoner, of your own mind. One day, Eli returned to the old painter. The man was painting the same tree again. But this time, Eli saw something different. Not just the tree, but the stillness around it. He smiled and said, "I think I finally understand. It's not about the tree, is it?" The old man looked at him and nodded gently. "No, it's about seeing the world without letting your thoughts cloud the view. When you think less, you see more." Eli thanked him and walked away quietly. For the first time in his life, his mind felt light. There were still thoughts, of course, but they no longer screamed for his attention. He had learned to let them pass, like clouds drifting across a vast sky. That night, as he looked out his window, he realized something profound. Peace was never about having a perfect life. It was about not letting the imperfections own you. We live in a world that is addicted to thinking. We analyze, compare, predict, and judge constantly. But none of it makes us happier. It only feeds our anxiety, one thought at a time. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is nothing at all. Just breathe, observe, be. When you learn to think less, life starts to open up in unexpected ways. You start hearing your intuition again. You stop reacting to everything and start responding only to what truly matters. You begin to understand that control was never the key to peace. Surrender was. And maybe that's the lesson Eli and all of us eventually need to learn. That overthinking won't protect us from pain. It only keeps us from truly living. So stop chasing answers. Stop trying to fix every thought. Let silence do what thinking never could. Because the art of thinking less isn't about doing less. It's about being more. More aware, more alive, more here, right now. And maybe that's the only art that really matters. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey today. If this story resonated with you, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more content like this. It helps more than you know. Stay present and be well.